Lots of calcio to talk about in Italy. A lot of calcio to talk about here, right at home. A lot of big news coming out of Montreal tonight here on the Calcio Guys. Gianni, Adriano. I'm Nicholas. How you guys doing?
Doing
I'm
good,
doing
man.
pretty good.
Doing good as well. Big news, like you said, and can't wait to dive in.
Of course. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, the Calcio Guys. But guys, I did want to start the episode with this. It hits home. It's friend of the show, Rocco Placentino, president of the new CPL Canadian Premier League team right here in Montreal, technically in Laval. FC Supra du Quebec announced just tonight. Huge news, for local soccer. The CPL has been a league, I think 2019. They started playing. They have 8 teams across Canada, a real development league for young Canadian players that have developed, even players who have played in the last World Cup, like Joel Waterman, former CF Montreal player. So yeah, I get it. This is a second division league, but it's a pretty decent league. FC Forge, top team in the league, have beat MLS teams in the Canadian Championship. So this is exciting. This is something we had Rocco on last year before CS Saint Laurent played against Toronto FC in the Canadian Championship, and he said he talked to us. He wanted that CPL team right here in Quebec, and he got it. And he spoke about it at the press conference tonight. He said he's been working for this a few years. He mentioned his friend Jason DeTulio, who sadly passed away a couple years ago, a couple times in the press conference. It's just one of those teams. It really feels local. Like, I know, guys, we have another soccer team, we have an MLS team, but with the way things have been going lately with that team, where there's kind of like a disconnect between the ownership and the fans, the whole fiasco with removing the Impact name, it's good to get a fresh start. Yes. If you want to go watch the best soccer we have in the city, you go watch CF Montreal. If you want that local feel, starting 2026, you're going to be able to go watch FC Supra in Quebec, in Laval, sorry. And what I like what they did also, it's a Montreal-based team playing in Laval, but they win with the name that is all of Quebec, FC Supra du Quebec. And it's a throwback to the old Supra Montreal team that played between 1988 and 1992 that dissolved and became Montreal Impact. So it's a lot of history right there. Beautiful colors. And Adri, they're cousins with Campobasso. Matt Rizzetta, new ownership. So it must be exciting for you to see that too. This is a guy who's been very involved in grassroots soccer, between Campobasso and even, I know he's friends with the guys from IFTV, and he just loves this stuff. So it's cool to see. It seemed like it was very positive first press conference. A lot of Italian ownership, a lot of it seems like the management, a lot of Italian guys. So it's really local for us too.
I love it. I mean, listen, it's exciting. I think it's a new chapter. Kind of. And I was listening to the live stream on One Soccer on YouTube, and just we love to see Rocco in the forefront there, really showing his passion. He said to us, way back when, and he's been able to deliver on that. He called it a dream, and now it becomes a reality, right? To bring a CPL team to Quebec, and listen, we're behind it. We hope to maybe get involved with it in some fashion. We hope to chat with Rocco soon, to maybe get some more information on everything. But just super excited. Couldn't have happened to a better human being. Getting to meet him personally, getting to speak with him on the podcast. It's exciting. Obviously Matt Rizzetta and even Angelo Pasto, another local Montrealer, that's part of the Campobasso ownership group, and kind of coming home for us. It's cool. It's cool to be to see it. I think the CPL. I mean, Quebec has been raving for it. I think kind of ironing out the really nitty gritty details, the behind the scenes that us fans and us lovers of the sport kind of maybe don't see. Finally ironing out that and really putting, like we said and Rocco said, a dream come to reality is exciting. So they will be playing in Laval, Stade Boreal, in Laval, and which is also the home of the Roses Montreal team, right, for the women's professional team. So it's a cool thing. I think I saw it's hosts around the 5 to 6,000 seats. So listen, intimate, but yet should hopefully have a full crowd. If we took anything from when CS Saint Laurent was playing at Cote I mean, it's the passion's there, guys. The cultural community is here. We speak about it on a different aspect, maybe not always so local. We try to always hit home when we can, but the cultural fans are here, and I think being able to now have starting in 2026 a team in the CPL is a step for these young Quebecers, right? These young Quebec-born players to show their skills, and it's another avenue. It's another avenue for them to progress and hopefully become, the Ismael Konis of the world, right? The Moises Bombitos of the world, right? So we're excited. Listening to the press conference, everybody involved seemed to be really passionate, which is something you need, and obviously having that grinta, right? Like. In memory of Jason DeTulio. So, listen, it's an exciting project. Like I said, it's a passionate project, and I think, and if things go on the way that the press conference was seeming to be, I mean, this is a project that hopefully is going to last for many years and with a lot of success. So. Listen, we're behind it, and we hope to see it kick off in 2026.
And I think the best point that you made with that, Nick, earlier is the fact that, like, especially with the Saputos running CF Montreal, like there is a disconnect that has to be addressed, because there was a disconnect like that with Bologna, and now Bologna is doing much better in Serie A because they started to put all their focus on that. But the thing is, now it feels like as if Montreal is being left behind, and it feels like, like I've mentioned before, I've gone flack for it, but it's true. It just feels like as if we're just yes, it's MLS, but it just feels like we're developmentals. Like we're not a team that's willing to have the drive to compete. They feel like Bologna is mostly where the attention is for the competition. So the fact that you're gonna have the Supra here now, it's gonna be fantastic, because obviously you said it best. We have a lot of local connections to it, and especially the Italian Montreal community. Like it's third highest ethnicity in Montreal. It's like you can even look up the numbers. The fact that we can have like people that are like, like they're from us. Like they're there trying to run the team. They feel like as if they're going to do their best to, really build up the local hype. And the fact that it is a lower level of competition plays in their benefit, because you have more liberty, more freedom to, to draw the attention and stuff to people to your games. You don't have to like abide to like the rules of a certain league. There's still a league that you have the rules to abide to, but I mean, like, it's not, it's just it's the Canadian Premier League, so great way to also help develop local talent. Also a good addition, because like we got the Montreal Roses, which was the women's professional team now. We have the Montreal Impact, and now we have Montreal Supra, which is good. Sorry, Supra of Quebec. Like it's great, because you're gonna all three competitions as a Montreal team. So the summers here, if you're a big soccer fan, you'll be able to go watch a bunch of games at the same time if you want. You should probably make like a little pass or something. Like imagine, like you buy like a season pass, but you can get tickets to like every game and shit for like every league. That'd be pretty fun. But just
we gotta pass that message on to Rocco if we can.
Yeah, or just for the fact that they're sharing the stadium, I think is huge too, right? Like introducing the Roses, right, to Montreal, and the first professional female team here in Quebec. So and them sharing the stadium and kind of bridging that gap, right, for women's sport and men's sport here in our province, that we always like to complain about, but at the end, when there's stories like this, it's something that it's really positive and really great. So again, I know I can speak for the three of us. We're excited, like I said, and it should be cool, man, to see it kick off. Obviously in a World Cup year, right, in 2026, and the games, the Canadian national team coming to Montreal after 10 years, coming in October, right, the next month. So just these little things, with local culture here for us is huge. So pumped, ready to see what comes from it, and hope to yeah, just enjoy and soak it all in.
And the great thing now is we have an opportunity for a local derby professionally in the Canadian Championship, Supra and Save Montreal. And guys, look, Canadian Championship final on October 1st. So that's what, next Wednesday, I believe. FC Vancouver versus Vancouver Whitecaps. That's awesome.
huge.
You got an
It's huge.
MLS team versus a CPL team. That's going to be fun for the city of Vancouver. Look, every big city across the world has two soccer teams, two professional soccer teams. So it's awesome to see. And you guys know where I'm going with this, right? Because one of the biggest cities in the world, Rome, has two of the bigger teams in Italy, Rome and Lazio. They played each other this weekend. Before we get into that, though, I will ask you guys: CF Montreal versus FC Supra. If they do play in the Canadian Championship final, we got to choose a side, right?
Yeah, but
You might have to go
CF
Supra.
No, I'm gonna go. I have to go CF Montreal, man. The amount of years that I've been behind that club, like trying to. I was there when I was a kid when they played in the oh my god, what was it called? The ML, not the
Claude
ML. Oh my
Robillard.
god, yeah, Claude Robillard. What was it called? Fuck.
The
It was started with a
they play
U.
NSL, USL.
No, USL when they were part of the USL. I remember going to games then. I remember when they just moved to Saputo Stadium, when they just developed it. I was there when they won. I forgot which cup it was, but it was kind of like right before they went to the NASL. They played in a different league and they won a championship. But I was there when they won that in the Ultras in 09. Like I'm always there at the Ultras. Like I can't not cheer for them. So for me, I'm still gonna stick with the Impact. It's still gonna be Ale Impact, ale, ale Impact, ale, ale Impact, ale, ale, oh, 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 oh. Anyways, I'll stop.
If I have to split the tie over here, I'm gonna go with my boy Rocco with FC Supra, Marizetta, and the boys. It just listen. For me, either or, it's a win for us, right? So it really doesn't matter. But if I would have to choose, I would lean with this new project. It seems exciting. And what was the message? A club, Puri C. What was it?
From here, for here. So I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah,
Something like that.
exactly right. From here, for here, whatever it is. I mean, it's just it's exciting. It's gonna be set up with Quebec only players. And if you look around a lot of these clubs, they're producing a lot of talent. At the local levels. If it be the CS Saint Laurent's, if it be the FC Laval's, AS Laval's, CSRDP, I see. Our boy Stevie P is involved there. So it's exciting. So if I would have to split the tie, I'll go there for now, just for maybe the recently biased buzz. But at the end of the day, it would be a win for us in Montreal.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, the Roman Derby this past weekend, officially Derby della Capitale, 1-0 for Roma. Goal from Lorenzo Pellegrini, I believe. Was it in the first half?
Yes,
In the
it
first
was.
half. Yes. A nice 12:30 o'clock game over there, 6:30 a.m. over here. I don't know if you got up to watch that, Johnny.
I'll be honest with you, no, because I know I've been having issues with sleep lately. So for me, I was like, I'm sleeping in on this.
Boo!
I'm like, I sleep in, especially with weekends. I'm also doing weddings and shit. I'm working 6 days out of 7. But honestly, but the biggest thing that we have to take from this, besides Guendouzi being a bitch, I'm just Guendouzi is Pellegrini finally getting that monkey off his back. Finally getting all the hardships and stuff with that goal. It was just like he exercised the demon in it. Like he's been someone who, like last year, felt like as if he lost a bit of his placement. Felt a little bit, all over the place. Rumors this summer of him potentially leaving to probably go to like, what was it? I think it was West Ham United was making offers for him. Was it West Ham? I think it was West Ham making offers for him and stuff. And, it seemed like as if he still needed some form of direction. And a goal like that can just, especially in a derby, especially when you're doing it for your favorite team against your biggest rival, like it does so much. And overall, Lazio applied a lot of pressure. I wouldn't say that Roma was the better team in that game from watching it. I felt like as if Lazio were more threatening than Roma was, but all in all, like it just like Roma scored on their chance, Lazio didn't. There was a lot of arguments, especially at the end there, a lot of interesting arguments and stuff. Speaking of Guendouzi getting that red at the end there, but winning a derby is always a great feeling, I think, and it just continued on into like to Europa League game today. I know like we're not in the Europa League competition discussion yet, but I'll just might as well get it all the way since I'm on the topic. I couldn't see the game today either because I was working. Sorry, listeners. I had the life of a teacher, right? Games go on while you're in.
You have a job?
I have a job, right? I'm an employed Italian since when? How's that work? Yeah, no, against Nice, Mancini scoring. That's another name that we need someone to be better, and he has been better, Mancini. Like he had a little bit of a shaky game last time he played for the national team, but great bounce back game against Nice. Gets on the score sheet. Contributes to a very huge win in Europa League. Overall, like Gasperini is under a great time with Roma. He's really establishing something and he's finding some ground, which is great. And it reflects in the league too. Like they're fourth place right now in the league. I know it's only 4 games in of the season, but they're in the top 4. And let's hopefully they stay in the top 4 until the end of the season because
stop the count.
Yeah, stop the count. I mean, Napoli first, Roma fourth. Stop the count. Stop the count. We got all of our teams in the top 4 here. Actually, if you think we should literally put slam on the stop the count button.
Just stop it. Just stop.
But like still, it's nice to see that. It's nice to see like some consistency. I enjoyed it when we had Mourinho kind of providing that too. But Gasperini, like I said, he's going to implement a long-term project. Hopefully, he does stay long-term. It's nice to see like old faces. I guess that's the best way I can say it. Like just finding their groove again. And these are players that you need to have like consistent. You need to have them be their best because they're like the term is the talisman. They're the talisman of the team. They're the emblem of. Like they're the guys who. Probably fight the hardest for the team for a victory or a loss. Mancini for his character, Pellegrini for being not only the captain but being from Roma, being a Romanista growing up and stuff. You need that from these guys, and the fact that we're getting that is nice to see. I hope it continues. Remains to be seen. What's their next game? Actually, I keep on forgetting. It's against Verona.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a fun one. Once again, if you do well in that game, you just continue building up from it. So, very nice derby win. Not still a little bit scary. Lazio still applied some decent pressure, but they're having some difficulties, and I'm happy that Roma was able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, and what a terrible mistake by Tavares there, right? It was just I don't know why you're trying to be too fancy, too cute in the box like that. 9 times out of 10 you get burned by something like that. I think that was a bit of a bonehead mistake in my opinion. That kind of in the end it costed them obviously the derby, but literally I thought it was going to be a 1-1 draw as it usually is, or just a draw as it usually is. But I think that doesn't happen. Maybe it's a different ball game. And listen, if you didn't watch the game and you kind of just saw the box score and you see 1-0, 2 red cards, you thought it would have been like a bloodbath of a game. I don't think it was that, unfortunately, obviously. But kudos to Roma for stepping up, because I think was it last week, Johnny, we kind of spoke about it after the loss to Torino, if I'm not mistaken. A little hiccup in the road, right? The Roma kind of started off on the right foot, and a little hiccup in the road. And listen, it's 2 from 2 since we recorded that episode, right? In Serie A and in Europa League today. So I think this team is gonna do as well as Gasperini has these players performing at a high level, and if that continues to be, I think they're in good shape. Ultimately, where do they fall at the end of the season? It remains to be seen. But getting a debut win is sometimes it's even bigger than the 3 points, right? It's the bragging rights. It's the camaraderie that comes with it. So and it seems like Pellegrini always has a goal in him, right? In the Derby della Capitale, well, I think it's fourth. I was seeing somewhere. I think it's like what I think Serie A posted it too. It's like this fourth goal, fourth Derby goal, I believe, or something along those lines.
I wouldn't be able to
I'm
tell you
gonna look
that.
that up.
Yeah, look it up just to correct me if I'm wrong there. But he always seems to have a knack for goal in the Derby. So it's a big plus from him. Again, where his future holds with being on this team, again, I don't know. He was almost out the door, like you alluded to, Johnny, earlier. But as long as he's part of this team, and knowing the love that he has for obviously the club and him being Romano, it's more than anything. You saw it in the celebration too, right? Just the overall relief. I think you saw it, and the way he spoke afterwards as well. So kudos to him, kudos to Roma. They're on the right path, and we'll see again, like I said earlier, how long it lasts. But you got to fight through these tough moments, and they were able to do that in the derby.
Fourth Derby goal for
It is,
Pellegrini.
right? Perfect.
All Serie A, like no Coppa Italia goals. He
Nice.
scored each of the last 2 seasons as well. And I didn't realize Roma is undefeated now, 4 straight in the Derby. Lazio was on a good run for a bit. I think I had seen something I think it was like the past 9 games that Lazio was considered the home team in the Serie A. They haven't lost, something
wow.
like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's almost a neutral site game. You could argue that Lazio did have the advantage where they have more fans. It's like their stadium announcer or whatever. But I'm sure for the players, it's really not that difficult for them to play away.
Well, if you can't get up for a Derby della Capitale,
exactly.
you should just stay home, right? So
Yeah.
it's a shame.
But even at
but
that,
it's
like
the
you look
truth.
at the stadium, it was like half Romanista, half Laziale. Like it wasn't as if
70,000 just singing.
Yeah.
Great tifo, by the way.
The tifo from both sides
I love it.
Was phenomenal. So it's great that like that's even though it's kind of like the Derby della Madonnina. Like it feels like as if like yes, no matter which team is the home team, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like it's still like a nice bipartisan crowd. Like it feels like it's split down the middle. You know what I mean?
Oh, when the tifo, when there's the tifos, and when the ultras are all not protesting or not whatever, like it's just a great spectacle, right?
Yes.
That they put on, regardless of what happens on the pitch. Obviously, you hope and wish that the product on the pitch, kind of matches the tifo in the stands. But it just, like I said, a spectacle. It's something that's if you're there, you kind of soak it all in, and it's beautiful just to see as a neutral, right? Just especially the Derby della Capitale. It's unfortunate that Lazio is kind of going through a bit of a tough time as of late. They haven't looked great. I think they hit a post or two, if I'm not mistaken, in the match too. So maybe a bit unlucky. It is what it is. Their summer mercato obviously didn't go the way they would have wanted it, not being able to really spend and such. So again, Sari 2.0. We'll see if they can do something in the winter mercato and maybe shake up this squad. But the players gotta grow up here, and I think gotta work harder to earn their points. And it doesn't seem to be coming right now, but I think or hopefully with time it could come. But credit to, like I said, to Roma, they got the job done and walked away with the 3 points.
The last time, I'm just checking. The last time Roma beat Lazio as Lazio's home team was 2016.
Jesus.
So it's been a while. So that's 9 years. So like we said, important win for Roma. They're strong start to the season. It's I don't know if you want to call it the Gasperini effect or whatnot, but they're continuing their momentum. I've said this before. They're continuing their momentum from last season. 4th place, 9
The
points.
honeymoon phase. It's the honeymoon phase with Gasperini. It's the honeymoon. They're just getting started. Wait till they're married 10, 15, 20 years. Then we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, Gasperini really turned Atalanta into a Champions League level team.
Until they got divorced.
I mean, they're still in a Champions. They're still almost there. I mean, until they got divorced. Sure, yeah, no, I'm not disagree with you there, but
they had some great years. They had a good run.
Look, if he establishes some form of consistency with the team, that's what matters. Because that's something that Roma's been desperate for almost a decade now. Ever since the Totti years, it just seems like as if there was no direction with the team, no rhyme or reason. So this is just actually, no, what? I stand corrected. Ever since that
Champions
League run, they've
fair enough.
19.
What was that? 26. When was that? No, sorry, that was
17, 18.
17, 18.
Yeah.
Under Di Francesco, was it?
When they lost in the semifinal. Yeah, when they lost in the semis.
Yeah, bullshit. But we're not going to go back down that path because it's going to go into a rage fest here on the Culture Guys.
So yeah, now they're tied with Milan at 9 points. So Milan too, they had you could say rough start to the season. They lost to Cremonese back on match day 1. They haven't conceded since. 4 straight games now, including Coppa Italia, where Milan hasn't allowed a goal. And even if you want to go back to their first Coppa Italia game against Bari, 2-0 back on August 17th. So the 2 goals allowed versus Cremonese were a month ago. Obviously, they beat Lecce 2-0. They beat Bologna 1-0. And this past weekend, 3-0 against Udinese. And then back in Coppa Italia, 3-0. So Adri, this is what you're going to get out of Allegri. Defense. I'm surprised they've actually scored 3 goals in each of the last 2 games. That's a shock for Allegri. I'm surprised he didn't tell them to sit back. But against Udinese and Lecce, I guess you got to go for it. But another team that you got to be happy with.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, it's not the start that we wanted. Obviously, I think they should have been 12 points out of 12 to start the season. If I'm honest, and again, no disrespect to Cremonese, they earned that win, and rightfully so. We didn't play up to Milan's expectations and such. So credit to them there. But ever since then, it's that Allegri effect, I guess. Really solidifying this makeshift defense that we have, and so far so good. I don't want to really jinx anything, but it seems to be working. Maybe when he's not on the touchline and it's Landucci in, maybe that's why they score a couple more goals. I don't know, but it's I guess the horse has his musetto is a bit longer in Milan than it was in Torino. I don't know. In Torino it was just an inch. Now it's a bit more. Joking aside, it's just refreshing to see. I think for Milan and Milan fans, and you see obviously the image there of guys like Nkunku, new players that are getting on the score sheets and celebrating, and the team looks happy, right? The team looks revived, and it's a breath of fresh air, like I said. So solidifying the defense, I think the last 2 seasons has been really our downfall. I think since the Scudetto year, that year we had a good run defensively. These last couple of seasons, it's been really rough. I think they've allowed. I saw a quote, and I don't remember who it was by off the top of my head, but I saw a quote in the Italian papers. Milan took or let in 43 and 49 goals in each of the last 2 seasons. That's way too many goals to concede if you want to be a serious title contender, if you want to be in the running for top 4 or what have you. So the fact that they've only conceded 2 goals in 4 match days now, it's exciting. It's positive. Or wait, sorry, 3 match days. What is it? 3 match days or 2 or 4? 3 match days. Sorry.
Three Serie A match days.
3 Serie A match days going on to match day 4. I'm sorry. And scoring 7 goals, right? The goal differential there is good for what the start was. So just players stepping up, and this is all without our quote unquote best player, right? In Rafael Leao, right? Hasn't seen the Serie A pitch yet, and hopefully we see maybe a glimpse of him against a really tough test in Napoli this upcoming Sunday. But Modric is just, like I said in previous shows, just class, man, just a step above. It's just so crazy that we live in a world where he plays for Milan, right? And he's gracing the Serie A pitches, and he's really stepped up for Milan at his young age, I guess you'll say, at 40. I hope we don't drive him into the ground, because he's been playing quite a bit since arriving, and I think we have to kind of manage his minutes kind of going forward, and kind of allowing, you know, the Ricci's of the world, and, you know, if it be Fofana or Rabiot or Loftus-Cheek, to get in there in different roles. So but, you know, it's players that have stepped up, you know, players that, you know, have not been maybe the best in the last couple of seasons, kind of stepping up as well. You know, again, I don't think Loftus Cheek is an all timer, right? I don't think he's he's the next coming of you know, Roberto Baggio, but he's you know, improving. I think Salamakers has made the biggest jump, as well. And how can we not say about Christian Pulisic, right? It's an incredible start for Captain America. He's really put the team on his back. I think that's, you know, 6 goals in his last 5 appearances for Milan. So it's just, you know, the the instant impact for him. He started off the season well, and we hope for it to continue for this season to be a good one. And um, I don't know. It just encouraging to see that, you know, the season starts like this. It was a tough test against Udinese. This is a team that we saw a couple weeks ago gave it to Inter, right? They went to San Siro, and they took the 3 points from them. And this was going to be a tough test in between, in between multitude of games, right? Coppa Italia, you know, Napoli this weekend. I think Juve after that. So you have to get your points when you can, and you have to put yourself in a position where, you know, come the end of the season, like Allegri said at the beginning of the season, that you're in a good enough spot that you can compete, if it be into top four or pushing for a Scudetto. So um, it's something positive to say. And I think the biggest test of the season is, like I said, coming this Sunday against Napoli. This is maybe two teams that can maybe go the distance. You obviously, you know, Juve has been playing well as also. So, you know, there's a lot of teams up there that are going to compete. And again, I know Inter didn't have the great start of the season, but they'll be there. I think when it becomes you know, needed that they need to get back into top four, they'll be there. So Milan has a tough test, and I don't know how you mitigate that offense that Napoli has. But if there's one person to kind of try to mitigate that, it's going to be a guy like Max Allegri on the touchline. So he has this team playing well. He has this team more positive than they've looked in the past couple of seasons. And yeah, it just encouraging, and hopefully that it continues throughout the season.